What will President Trump do on his first day in office? Start mass deportations. As before, Trump has made immigration a central focus of his 2024 campaign, repeatedly vowing to deport undocumented immigrants. On October 27, just days before the election, Trump reiterated at a rally in New York City, "On day one, I will launch the largest deportation program in American history, taking criminals out. Start mass deportations of undocumented immigrants." According to federal authorities, the number of undocumented immigrants living in the United States in 2022 will be nearly 11 million. And this is still an uncertain number. According to the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency, as of September, fewer than 500,000 undocumented immigrants had criminal records. When asked in November about the cost of a mass deportation plan, Trump told NBC News that the cost is not the issue. That same month, Trump endorsed a post by another Truth Social user that said the Trump administration would be prepared to declare a national emergency and use the armed forces to carry out the deportation program. Trump shared the post and wrote one word: yes. End birthright citizenship. Anyone born in the United States is automatically a citizen. This right is enshrined in the 14th Amendment. Now, Trump wants to change that rule. But it would be a difficult move and would almost certainly lead to legal battles. In a December interview on NBC News, Meet the Press, host Kristen Welker asked Trump if he still planned to end birthright citizenship on day one. "Absolutely," Trump replied. Muslim ban. One of his first-day pledges was a callback to his first term in office, when he signed an executive order in 2017 that became known as the Muslim ban. The order restricted entry to travelers from several Muslim-majority countries, including Syria, Libya, Yemen and Sudan. The ban faced a series of legal challenges and was eventually rescinded under President Joe Biden. But in his new term, Trump has pledged to reinstate the ban as well as pause refugee admissions, stop resettlement and get terrorists out of our country. "We will ban refugee resettlement from terrorist areas like Gaza. We will close the border. And we will reimpose the travel ban," he told Republican donors in Washington, D.C., in September. Ending Biden-era border policies. Trump has responded aggressively to President Joe Biden's immigration policies, declaring that on his first day in office he would end any open borders policy of the Biden administration. Trump has repeatedly said he would quickly pardon those convicted of participating in the January 6, 2021, riot, J6, against the U.S. Capitol. When NBC News asked Trump in December about a pardon timeline, he said, "I'll look at it on my first day in office." In an interview with Time magazine, he added, "I'll look at J6 from the very beginning, maybe the first 9 minutes." More than 1.580 defendants have been charged and more than 1.270 have been convicted in the riot investigation, on charges ranging from unlawful assembly to conspiracy to incite violence. More than 700 defendants have been given probation or have already served their sentences. That means Trump could pardon hundreds of defendants on January 6 without much practical impact. Only a handful of defendants in the case remain in pretrial detention under the orders of a federal judge. Foreign policy. Ending the war in Ukraine. One of Trump's boldest promises was that he could end the war in Ukraine within 24 hours of taking office, or even sooner. Trump made the claim during a September debate with Vice President Kamala Harris in Philadelphia. "I know Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky very well. And I know Russian President Vladimir Putin very well. I have a good relationship and they respect your president. They respect me. They don't respect President Biden," Trump said. During a press conference at Mar-a-Lago in January, Trump was asked when he planned to meet with Putin to discuss ending the war in Ukraine. Trump said it would be inappropriate to hold the meeting before his inauguration on January 20. Economic policy. Weeks after his election, Trump promised to sign an executive order to impose a 25% tariff on products imported from Mexico and Canada, two of the United States' largest trading partners. On January 20, among my first of many executive orders, I will sign all necessary documents to impose a 25% tariff on all products coming into the United States from Mexico and Canada, Trump wrote on Truth Social on November 25. Economists have warned that consumers could bear the brunt of a full-blown tariff, as it could lead to higher prices. Companies could respond to tariffs by buying products in the United States instead of importing them from another country. Or they could raise prices to consumers to offset the cost of the tariffs. Alan Deardorff, an economist at the University of Michigan, previously told NBC News that Trump's tariffs are like a sales tax, meaning consumers everywhere will bear the cost. Increase U.S. oil production. One of the claims that Trump repeated in almost every campaign speech was his pledge to increase U.S. oil drilling. He often pointed out that increasing U.S. oil production would significantly reduce energy costs. Repeal the electric vehicle mandate. In 2021, Biden signed an executive order that set a nationwide goal that 50% of new cars and trucks sold by 2030 would be zero-emission. In March, the Environmental Protection Agency finalized regulations to limit tailpipe emissions, and electric vehicles are expected to help meet those goals. California also has a law that requires all new cars sold in the state to be zero-emission by 2035. Trump has called it an electric vehicle mandate. In November, at a campaign event in Houston, he reiterated his promise, saying, "The day I take office, I will repeal Crooked Joe's electric vehicle mandate. Made in America auto industry." Trump said at a rally in September that, "A vote for President Trump means that in the future, cars will be made in America." He predicted that cars would run on American fuel, be supplied by American suppliers, and be built by American workers. In recent years, major auto companies in the United States have laid off thousands of workers. However, in January, General Motors and Ford Motor reported their best domestic vehicle sales since 2019. Climate and energy. Undoing Joe Biden's climate policies. Outgoing President Joe Biden counts the raft of executive orders, laws, and funding programs he pushed through to create green jobs, control pollution, and fund infrastructure as one of his biggest accomplishments. Trump has made clear that he hopes to undo much of those policies. He is expected to use executive orders to lift restrictions on drilling on federal land, making good on his promise to drill, baby, drill, and boost American energy production and energy independence. He has also pledged to ban new wind power projects and roll back electric vehicle mandates. Withdrawing from the Paris Agreement again. Within 6 months of taking office in 2017, Trump withdrew from the Paris Climate Accord, a landmark international agreement to limit global temperature rises. Biden moved to rejoin the accord on his first day in office in 2021. But Trump is expected to withdraw again upon his return to the presidency. Delaying TikTok ban. On Sunday morning, January 19, Trump promised on his social media platform Truth Social that he would issue an executive order delaying the TikTok ban. He said the order would give TikTok time to find a U.S. partner to buy 50% of the company. "I want the U.S. to own 50% of a joint venture. By doing so, we save TikTok, keep it in good hands, and allow it to continue to exist. Without U.S. approval, TikTok would not exist. With our approval, it would be worth hundreds of billions of dollars, maybe trillions of dollars," he said in his post. Trump had previously supported banning TikTok, but has recently changed his stance, pointing to the billions of views he said his videos garnered on the platform during his presidential campaign last year.